So how do you create a brand that truly represents who you are and the products you sell, as well as building a business that you can scale online? That is what this podcast will help you do. My name is Henry Kaminsky Jr., and welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast.
Let me just make this statement loud and clear. Jersey's here, Jersey's here.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Brand Doctor Podcast episode. It's your boy, Henry Kaminsky Jr., a.k.a. the Brand Doctor from UniqueDesigns.net. And we have a very special guest today. This dude I met on Clubhouse about a week ago. His rooms were about 30 deep right in the beginning, and now he's running rooms with 500, 1,000 plus people in it. I really got a chance to get to know him a little bit more personally behind the scenes. Really, really genuine dude. This dude is a expert, and he's super passionate about growth hacking, super passionate about growing communities online. And guys, you've heard me talk about this in nauseum, but I'm passionate about that stuff too. When you have a strong audience with a deep connection to you and what it is that you do, that's when the magic happens. So without further ado, I want to introduce my man, Kaylnd Doughtery, a.k.a. the Philly Networker, to the show. What is going on, my man?
I'm feeling great, man. How are you feeling?
Dude, you were rocking early today, man. You start these rooms early. You rock it out for 2 hours, and then, you're jumping in other rooms and moderating and this and that. So, dude, I am just all about what it is that you're doing and how you're running your operations. And I'm watching you in action build these strong communities and attracting very high net worth individuals. And I am like, wow, these guys got something going on here. And so I got to get more attention on you guys. Right.
Man, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to get more of my audience tuned in and dialed into what it is that you guys are doing. So quick backstory on you, how you got started in the space, how long you've been doing it, and some of the accomplishments. I mean, you've created some awesome things. I want you to share with that, and then we'll get into some deep stuff.
Yeah. My name's Caitlyn Doherty, known as Philly Networker, I guess. I'm a networker based out of Philadelphia, digital marketer, and I specialize in Facebook groups. And I originally got started in Facebook groups because I was doing multi-level marketing when I turned 18. And I realized that they built a lot of their communities, information sharing, training, strategies, communication realistic through Facebook groups. And I really liked it. It allowed me to manage teams, organize communities around the concept. And after that, I left multi-level marketing. It wasn't for me. And I got more into traditional digital marketing because the business that I was involved with back then when I was 18, I'm 25 now. The business I got involved with afterwards was just in general digital marketing. I was learning Facebook ads, traffic sending, funnels. And I really fell in love with Facebook groups because it allowed you to, one, just build a really strong connection to your audience. And it created a space for me to allow all the customers I couldn't take on because they just weren't at the right price point, a space for them to network with my clients who were successful or just with me directly, which is what I'm currently doing with Clubhouse.
Oh my God. Yeah. And you're doing an awesome job. So I want to get into the meat and potatoes of what it takes to build strong communities. We'll get into some strategies on how to build a Facebook group or get more people into your Clubhouse rooms or to your YouTube channel, whatever the case may be, right after this quick little message. If you're a business owner who feels your branding isn't truly representing the value that you deliver, check out this free video training that will help you level up your brand's messaging and online presence so that you can start attracting higher quality clients. Visit www.uniquedesigns with a Z at the end, not an S, .net/level up my branding. All right, so let's dive in to some juicy stuff, right? You were giving me some banger advice on Clubhouse the other day when I asked, my team and I are looking to attract industry experts. They're making $250,000 or more. They want to scale. They're serious about branding and leveling up, and they really want to make an impact this year. What do I need to do to make this attractive to them and build a stronger, deeper connection inside of my Facebook group, on Clubhouse, etc.? So I want you to share some of the advice you gave to me because it was so good. And then, we'll see where the conversation goes from there.
Right. So first off, great question. And in regards to attracting those types of clientele, before you even get into the attraction place, you need to identify where they're going to go. Like, where are these clients going to end up? What bucket, what world are they going to go into? Now, some people, they siphon their clients they're interested in working with, whether they are paid or not, into some type of text funnel, email funnel, a drip campaign, a space where, it's cold and it's just one-to-one, which is good. I think having one-to-one is good. But my typical strategy is actually funneling them into a community, a space where they can learn more about your services. They can see the other people who did go through the funnel and purchase and have had success, share their testimonials, be able to provide them maybe value from your content and what you offer directly just to them. And before you even get into that, that's where you got to figure out, where's that bucket going to be? For me, that's Facebook groups. Whether it's for you, it could be any type of community app. Like there is the community app, which is just texting. But if we're going to go talk about building communities, typically Facebook groups is the gold standard. Yeah.
Got it. So there was a few things that you told me about my Facebook group that I should change. And I actually executed some of that this morning. So creating the name of my Facebook group was called the Brand Doctors Hangout, but it didn't really showcase, it didn't really explain what the group was all about. So
right.
Kaylnd, talk to us about the importance of putting the right name to the Facebook group to attract the right people into it.
Right. So leveraging Facebook groups for organic traffic to funnel into some type of paid private mastermind, paid private group. The strategy is just attracting the client based off the group, right? So a free value group, just for example, as a case study, and I hope I can send this to my friend Peter DiCarlo because he's had a lot of success doing it afterwards. My friend Peter DiCarlo is running a investment mastermind where he was charging clients monthly for trading, opinion, trading tips and whatnot for, calls, different opportunities to invest in. And he had a Facebook group called DFX Investments or DFC Investments, one or the other. I don't remember the exact name. And, he goes, hey, man, I got this Facebook group, got like 150 people in it. People are sharing information to each other, but it's not really converting any new clients. We're not finding that many new people are joining. We've invited all these people. People aren't converting it. And the reality is your Facebook group that's going to convert into like a private opportunity should be a Facebook group that attracts just the general target audience, right? So we changed the name from DFX Investments just to Traders Helping Traders, right? So this way, the person who's joining it is just joining a free value share community where you are the authority of the discussion, right? Since it's your Facebook group, you can brand it by you. Actually, there's an option in Facebook called Affinity, who is affiliated with, and you can actually have your whole branded business at the very top with a call to action right there in the cover photo, which allows you to say, hey, do you want to take your business to the next level? Click on the cover photo. In the description of the cover photo, you can have a link to some type of live training, a booking calendar, something along the lines of that. So it funnels into it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So we actually changed the name of the group. I'm going to show you here in a second. It is now Industry Experts That Want to Scale from 6 Figures to 7 Figures and Beyond.
Love it, man. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that converts.
So it's straight away and it's to the point. And as I was doing that, I was like, wow, well, this is going to be easy to talk about inside of this group. Right? Yeah,
because you can just bring value to the discussion place as the authority. You know what I mean? It will convert so much better too,
Right. So let's talk about some growth hacking strategies that some people, the obscure ones, right? Let's go a little deep here. What are some things that you're doing right now to sort of growth hack this community building? It's the word goal or objective for 2021.
Right. So right now I'm not really leveraging much for my current project, which is just the Clubhouse plug Facebook group for growth strategies. That's just a funnel model from Clubhouse into there. But I'll share one with you that is just constantly overlooked by most Facebook group owners, and it takes little to no effort. And that is just simply targeting other Facebook group members with some type of lookalike audience campaign, where you're running a Facebook page like campaign. So you're getting these other Facebook group members to like your post, and then your Facebook page, I should mention, and then going to the Facebook page and just inviting them into the Facebook group. Another really cool growth strategy and also leverage is a tool called Pepper. Pepper allows you to basically organize your Facebook Messenger into a CRM. It turns your Facebook Messenger into CRM, so it allows you to organize personal life, your business life, and maybe like other type of opportunities in different messenger buckets, highlight the discussions, make it a messenger funnel even, and allows you to kind of organize your personal from business, because you might be representing your brand as a person if you're a personal brand, right? So a lot of people use this. I personally use it, and allows you to, for example, engage with other people in other Facebook groups and say, hey, it looks like we might be able to, I think you might get some value out of this discussion. Would you like to check out this other Facebook group? And that's automatable too with a tool like Pepper. Pepper can help you automate that with staying within compliant within Facebook's terms of service too.
Wow. I love it. So guys, check out Pepper. This is the first time I heard of Pepper, so this is really good stuff. This is really, really good stuff. So let's talk about why it's so important to build community before you try to acquire a sale.
Well, I think it's interesting. That's a mindset you just shared. For me personally, I don't always adopt that mindset. However, I think personally, I look at community building as like just, planting the seed. It could immediately pump out clients right away, but it's about having a space for everyone to exist in, good, bad, and great. This way, the good can turn to, to great. The bad can either get kicked out or maybe convert over time too, right? So it's just having that space that can naturally build as you work on this project. I mean, you must like, at some point, I'll probably go across maybe thousands of leads in your business that, just kind of go out the door because the timing isn't right, or you're having some type of one-on-one drip and they just kind of fall off the boat. So you kick them off the drip, so you stop paying for it and put someone else on the drip. And this Facebook group, it's almost evergreen, especially if it's a public Facebook group that is, the title's SEO friendly to the industry. If you have some SEO terms in there, people will naturally funnel into it also too. So people can maybe find it, and the more it grows, it also gets suggested from other Facebook groups too. So it's about planting that seed, and then, maybe it turns out one client every 3 months, and it's once a month, and maybe it's once per week. Then, in some cases, 20 a day, 30 a day, 40 a day, or, hundreds per live stream, which we see constantly in, high ticket offer client groups. People are pumping out, I've seen people pump out $300,000, $400,000 worth in cash in hand sales in a day through Facebook groups. Clients and community being a great example. They're a phenomenal example of clients and community, the Facebook group in business. They're the best in the industry.
So check out Clients and Community Facebook group.
Definitely. And I'm not affiliated with, nor have I done their course. I'm just a Facebook group nerd and appreciate good copy.
I love it. So let's dive into this question then. What are some common mistakes that industry experts make when it comes to building communities online?
Too many to list, but off just the top of my head, letting it go cold. It's something you got to keep hot. You got to keep it hot and keep it warm and keep it hot. The best way to keep it hot, have fresh blood always flowing into it, and have a lot of opportunities for the fresh people who just joined. No different than Clubhouse, making sure the people who just joined in the call have the most opportunities available to them, right? You want to make sure that the person who just joined is getting as much, if not more value than the person who's been there for a while. And at the same side of that, creating opportunities for the people who've been sticking it around for a while, doing flash sales, Black Friday sales, stuff like that. Keeping it hot, keeping it exciting, keeping it new, keeping it engaged, bringing in some industry experts every once in a while to do a collaboration. No different than if you had like an email list and you collaborate with other people's email lists. You got to keep these people warm and engaged, because the engagement is the engagement with Facebook groups is based off the total engagement of the group. So if you're having, on average, 10% of your Facebook group is engaged, that number will increase. But the second it stops and it goes down to zero engagement, getting it back is like harder to bring it back from the dead than it is to keep it going. Yeah.
It is. So engagement wise, right? So when I do a live stream or I record a podcast live stream or anything like that, we're in there every day, drop, or every other day at least, dropping content. But that doesn't mean you're going to create an engaging group. So what are some things that people could do to massage or finesse that engagement?
Sure.
Where it doesn't feel like a job. Like there's a Facebook group that I belong to, and he's got like 3 admins that are running the group all day long. They're tagging me in live streams, and like, that's impressive. But you gotta have like a team for that, and they gotta be in there all day long. So anything that may be a little bit more practical?
Sure, definitely. First and foremost, I think that's just being an asshole. You know what I mean? You're just asking too much of the audience, and you don't want to be annoying. That's my personal opinion. I think that's something that's super practical is a daily question prompt to your audience, or some type of value community-based share. For like the Clubhouse one I'm focused on right now, I'm asking random questions like, hey, post your Clubhouse setup, or another one is plug yourself. What's your business? What do you do? I did one called Moderator Matchmaker, post up the industries you're in and network with other people. Just stimulate discussion and networking. It's really just stimulating networking between the community members, at least for me, because I'm building not a funnel, but just an actual community. You got to stimulate the people to start coming together under the brand itself. And that's something you can automate too. Go on Canva, create a quick post template, use a Facebook post, create a really generic template and just pop your questions on there and print them out. 7 questions is really all you need. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Automate and schedule out your posts and just let that roll. And then focus your full, prefrontal cortex, just full focus, on that quality live video where you're going to give out some digital product, or that quality live video where you're going to do a challenge, right? Another thing too is, if you have a general enough Facebook group to run a giveaway, like, for example, I actually have a podcast Facebook group that has about 55,000 members in it. And what I do is it's called, newbie entrepreneurs to podcasting. And that one's delisted right now because I'm actually in the process of transitioning that Facebook group to somebody else. But basically what we would do is we do invite giveaways. So we'd give away a starter podcasting kit worth maybe $250, $300, right? Not cheap, but through that, we converted over 15,000 new members doing that. 15,000 new members. We did a 90-day giveaway. One of those podcast setups giveaway every time. It's compounding because someone's new, they get invited, they see the giveaway, invite 500 people. 500 people join. They see the invite 500 people. The scaling kind of exponential model. Now, normally someone would have to pay probably like at least probably like $2,000 to $8,000 in Facebook ad spend to get 15,000 members, which is really grossly underestimating how much it probably really costs. But strategies like that can keep a fresh bloodline flowing through, and then good content keeps them. So what'd you have to do to award that? What did that person have to do for them to get the award? Right. So they had to invite whoever invited the most people during that 30-day time period got the invite. That was giveaway number 1. How'd you track it?
Yeah. How'd you track it?
Yeah, what we would do is we'd have them post up their invitee list from the Facebook group list. So you can actually post up how many people that person invited by going to the metrics. But I also have tools too that I leverage that are actually just my own custom tools that allows me to keep track of who's inviting who. And actually, if you go into the invited section, you can see how many people invited someone. So what we would have them do is say, hey, when you're done hitting invite, press done, and we'll go and track and do the total numbers. Now, it is practical, but it's manual work, right? It's still work. You still have to go there, write out the numbers, right? You can hire a virtual assistant too. That's not too unpractical to get done. But outside of that, though, yeah, it is still some work. You know what I mean? But 15,000 member Facebook, 25,000 member Facebook group, those are the kind of numbers that, most, podcasters can't even get to, let alone, just a regular Joe like me,
Yeah, I love it. I think it's phenomenal. And people will argue that, when you do giveaways like that, people are just joining because of the giveaway or
sure.
Right? But, at the end of the day, I like what somebody said on Clubhouse today. He said, we were talking about parking and running rooms for days and if there's an advantage to that or not. Remember that question?
Absolutely. Yep.
And the guy said, well, you got to have an audience, no matter what, whether it's active or inactive, like you got to at least have an audience. Otherwise, like nothing happens. So I get that. And because you never know, you never quite know who's coming in and who may become a potential client, or they may refer somebody out. You never know. Right. So, I know people say, stay away from the giveaway, the influencer giveaway hack on Instagram where you pay a couple grand and right.
100%. Yeah. That the audience has to make sense. Like, an invite giveaway might not work for your Facebook group, right? That's what we're talking about a little bit earlier about your strategy, right? If we were to sit down and do strategy, the reason why I charge for the strategy is because I have to identify the strategy that we're going to do to grow your group and maintain it, because an invite giveaway for a branding giveaway isn't going to attract your target audience. You want six figure, you want a higher end type of audience. We can still attract them by doing forms of giveaways, but not like that traditional, we spend $400 on a podcast kit, you know what I mean? And posting, hey, everyone, invite everyone. It's not going to be the same, versus like a newbie entrepreneurs in the podcasting one where we might attract, you know what I mean? Maybe 30% of the people get invited are our actual target. I'll even go as far as say 10% of them are our target audience, right? And in an example like that, it's not a branded Facebook group. We have a branded Facebook group where there is an intention, like it's your brand behind that Facebook group. You want to make sure you're filling it with quality, not the quantity. And that's where Facebook ads are going to come in. That's where Facebook group member acquisition is going to come in, so we can really dial in and target that audience you want in there.
So it's not one size fits all.
Never, especially for community building.
I love it. And that's something. And guys, this is why I preach from the mountaintops, why it's so important to understand who your ideal client is and to get as narrow as possible with that, so that you could attract and speak to those people and incentivize or engage them into the group. When you're shooting from the hip or you're trying to go real broad, Kaylyn, I sit on these panels and I just listen, and I don't speak up a lot because I'm going to ask the same question all the time. Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of the questions that are asked of the panel is, how do I get my audience to do X, Y, Z? And when I hear a question like that, I'm like, you wouldn't be asking that question if you knew who your audience was.
Right.
Right. So it's like you have to go deep like that and really understand who this audience is so you could put the right message in front of them.
Yep. And also the platform that they're on, you know what I mean? It's all relative. It's definitely all relative. The more niche and more, I call it like your anchor audience, whatever that is, just dial into that, figure them out, figure out their issues, be a great problem solver, and find everyone else who has the same audience and be a good problem solver for them too. It's easier to be in collaboration and competition,
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm a huge proponent of that. And you know what? That's something that I'm seeing on Clubhouse a lot. Just seeing you guys work together is very guys. Kaylyn has a Clubhouse partner or buddy, if you will, named Mario. He's going to be coming on the show in the next couple of days, or if not weeks. And the way they collaborate, the way they play off each other, the way that they work as a team is very, very impressive. And so, you're not gonna take over Rome all by yourself, right? You're not gonna scale from 6 to 7 figures all by yourself. So having that collaboration is super clutch, and it's abundance mindset. It really is. You got to have, you can't be afraid of the competition. Otherwise you're going to paint yourself into a corner and you're not going to do anything.
Yes. I think it's what you said there is really important. I'm turning into something like of the D-Rock of Clubhouse. And I even threw that in my bio because it's I'm finding myself just kind of working behind the scenes more. And I also run my own daily calls too, but Mario's been the most intelligent, most expensive guinea pig I've ever had when it comes to building on a platform. When he asked me to help him with Clubhouse, when I was first telling him about it, I said, Mario, we may one day have, 30 to 50 people, but I can foresee on Clubhouse there being a day where we fill a room with 30, 50, 60, 70,000 people. And we're not in this race that everyone else is in to get to 20,000 followers, not in this race to get to 50,000. We're on the marathon to create the most consistent, most valuable show on the app, the most valuable show we can build on the app. Because the more value we bring to the audience, the more excitement and fun we bring to the audience consistently over time, it's going to set us apart from the people who are in the race right now with followers. Because it's always point that people who are in the race are going to stop because they can't keep doing what they're doing. If you build something that's sustainable, that you can, rinse and repeat, a daily call, rinse and repeat, and get better at it, build a community around it, bring more value to the people who are attending it, just create this huge audience segment, you're going to always outcompete the person who's jumping around because it's not sustainable. It's not something you can do for a long period of time.
That's gold, dude. You guys are playing the long game, and that's very, very important. I see these people squatting on people's Clubhouse rooms, and it's the same guy or the same 5 people. Mm-hmm. I said to myself, you know what? My reputation means more to me because now I have such a bad taste in my mouth. Towards these individuals, and I'm not going to name names, but it's a shame because now I'll never do business with them, and now I'll never refer clients to them. And so keep that in mind, guys, when you're building your communities, right? And you're taking these growth hacking approaches, right? Make sure that they're ethical. Make sure that you're being coached by the right people. Make sure that if it feels weird in your gut, it probably is, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. And how much is your brand reputation worth to you? So if it takes me another 3 weeks to get to 5,000 followers, I don't really care. You said something the other day. You said something yesterday when I was on your Clubhouse room and I had to step out. I had to take a client call, and I could have just stayed there and been quiet, but I removed myself from the room because I don't want Kaylyn calling on me and me not being able to respond. And now I look like everybody else that squats.
I think the people who are squatting need to ask themselves, they're not bringing any value, right? So you can bring value as a squatter, right? Maybe you're bringing value to someone else's call who has 50 followers and it's first time on the platform. And I think that's appreciated, joining someone else who's just getting started and bringing that value by just saying, hey, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to chill here down here in the audience. Don't even moderate me. I'm just going to chill back over here. And I saw that when I first started, right? But you want to ask yourself, Henry, if you had 3,000 followers platform, had this buzzing room, there's brand associations with this room and people who follow you and come to your show daily, people who come to your show daily and they appreciate you for the content you're delivering. And you've been waiting to ask your questions. 15 people have gone by, right? And then, you're just watching this person sit up at the top, right? You're just watching this person who's just been sitting there collecting followers. You know it. We all know it. No one else is missing it. We see it. You know what I mean? Like, no one's that unintelligent. Everyone from 0 followers to 50,000, right? The only reason why that person's getting followers is because they want to turn on their post notifications so they can get in the room a little earlier. They're not that interested in you, right? Maybe they are. Maybe you 1 to 10% of them like, oh wow, that's really cool. He does X, Y, and Z. But the more they see you doing that, the more they're seeing you just kind of sitting there collecting followers. I promise you, when you ping them into a room, they're not going to listen to you. And I promise you, when you ask for their business, they don't have any for you. It's just because people don't listen to what you say. They watch what you do. They see what you do, and that's important to mention with this app. I got really lucky that a couple of people called me on it early and were like, hey, Kaylnd, you got to correct course here, man, because as you go further, there's going to be people who won't work with you and everyone sees what you're doing,
Yeah, I saw it right away. And, I was so happy when you opened the room up. It might have been Sunday or I think it might have been Sunday. It was the topic of conversation. How do we police this? We're not stupid. We see what you're doing. And I'm so happy that you did that, because I think you shook a couple people up. I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
I think you shook a couple people up. It's still going to go on. And some people are going to have such strong followings that people are going to want people to squat on your page, like you said.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, like you said, man, people are going to really think to themselves, well, if that's what they're doing, is that how they're going to treat me as a client?
Right. And I think these people, you see them squatting, I see some of them with 15 to 18,000 followers. And then you see them start a room and you see 15, maybe 10 to 15, 20 people attend it. And you have to think, what influence do they really have? And you can tell someone has authority influence platforms when they join a room, the number skyrockets. Why? Because people follow you. They value what you bring to the table. When you join a room and you start a room by yourself, a good indicator of what your influence is like is just to start a social room. See how many people really who you're even following, right? The people who you supposedly look up to are coming back to you as well. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's also a whole side of this community of people who are, just, never going to interact with you, on the platform. And I don't want to get too technical in the Clubhouse discussion too, but even, following people who are following more than 1,500 people is usually kind of a bad sign, is usually not really someone you might want to be following too much of, because this person, for one, is getting ping, 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 ping to every single room every 5 seconds. Either that, or they have their notifications turned off, right? They have their notifications turned off because they just got tired of getting notified. Now, I'm assuming Clubhouse is going to adjust those, probably play with it. But right here, right now, if you want interaction, you want to be interacting with people who are being very choosy about who they're interacting with, because that's a good sign that this person is only associating with quality people on the platform.
Amen. And I think this is a great place to wrap up the show, because at the end of the day, these growth hacking tips are fantastic. They'll expedite your growth. Fantastic. The community building aspect of it is a must. Otherwise I wouldn't have Kaylnd here spending time with us talking about it. But what does all of that equal to? Brand integrity. Brand integrity. People are going to look for that first. If they don't see that, believe me, they're not buying from you. So how do you want to show up? How do you want to be remembered? And what is that subconscious feeling that you want somebody to have when they come into your room on Clubhouse, or they or they interact with you on your Facebook group, or they're listening to your podcast? I'd rather be known as the guy that creates intimate conversations, that truly cares. Maybe there's 20 people in his room at most, but you can go into his room and you're going to be able to speak freely in a safe place and really get vulnerable if you want to, and really get value out of the conversation. Yeah. Right? I think that's important. That, I think, from a branding perspective, is so important when you're building your brand and growing your audience and just building a deeper connection, with your audience. I mean, amen to that. So
absolutely.
Kaylnd, where can people learn more about you? You're like all over the place. So I don't even know where to send people, but where can people learn more about you, and how can they get your help?
Right. So currently, right now, if you're interested in learning about Clubhouse growth, just join the Facebook group. That's just /Clubhouse plug, Facebook.com/groups / can't talk today. Clubhouse plug, right? Currently, I'm not offering any consulting with Facebook groups just to anybody. I usually only offer it to friends, family, people I'm close with, and that's just kind of that. Because frankly, it's just not something. It's not something that I feel like is teachable in a course. It's something only I can help if it makes sense. I can help with it. But that being said, yeah, just if you're interested in learning about Clubhouse growth, definitely join the Facebook group. We're going to be putting out a lot of content there. We have an Instagram page too, Clubhouse.plug. Clubhouse.plug on Instagram too is all dedicated just to growth strategies and actually the daily call that we run at 8 o'clock on Clubhouse too.
I love it. Kaylnd, dude, keep doing what you're doing. There is no coincidence, my man. I don't even know how the hell I got pinged by you. I don't even know how the hell we got connected on Clubhouse.
Me neither.
I've been in every room that you've created since last Wednesday. And, you know, I'm watching you grow. I'm watching you interact and create some strong leadership in the rooms. And the value is just beyond, you know, it's beyond. People would pay 30, 40, 50 grand to sit in rooms like this and learn. So I just want to acknowledge the time that you put in, the effort you put in. It doesn't go unseen. And from a branding guy, like, I'm impressed. And it takes a lot for me to say, you know, these guys are legit. These guys know what they're doing, and these guys really care.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I gotta say, really appreciate the kind words, and you know, not to understate it too. It is a lot of work. It definitely is a whole lot of work. It's emotionally draining of the voice. My number one tip for anybody who's just getting on this platform is don't bounce around. Don't be on this app 18 hours a day. Get a strategy. You know, you're on the Brand Doctor podcast. You know, the whole point of branding is to have a strategy, an implementable plan that you can stick to and work with over time. Get a plan and a strategy with Clubhouse. Don't jump around. Don't join the race of followers. There's no race. It's a marathon.
I love it, dude. Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your insights with my audience. Guys, go follow Kaylnd at the Philly Networker on Instagram. And then from there, you'll be able to plug into everywhere else he's at. And on Clubhouse, Philly Networker. He runs some amazing rooms, guys. Highly recommend this young man. He's a great dude. He's a great dude. So there you have it, guys. Hope you got some tips. Hope you got your notebooks out and you're taking some notes. If not, re-listen or re-watch this episode, because he dropped some valuable, deep lessons here that if you can put them in practice, you will grow exponentially a very strong audience. And that's what's more important. It's not about the numbers. It's about the quality of the connection that you make with the people that you truly want to serve. So have an amazing day, guys. And I will catch you on the next one real soon. Take care.
Hey everyone, this is Henry Kaminsky Jr. again. And really quick, I want to invite you to a one-on-one consult with me right now if you're looking for the clarity and focus you need to build your brand. Over the past 13 years, I've served hundreds of entrepreneurs that have great products but struggled tremendously with articulating its value to their ideal customers. You didn't get into business to just change a few lives, did you? Your ideal clients need you. And when your brand has precision-crafted messaging coupled with beautifully thoughtful design that sounds, looks, and feels like you, they'll know you're the perfect match for them. If this is something you're struggling with, what I want you to do right now is pause this audio and go visit www.uniquedesigns with a Z at the end, not an S, .net, and book your one-on-one consult call with me. Remember, the quality of your brand will determine the quality of your clients, and the quality of your clients will determine the quality of your life.